Oh my god. Mad Max Fury Road. It did not live up to my expectations. It exceeded them. Oh, jeez. So I just saw Mad Max Fury Road, and where do I start with this movie? This movie is insanity, and it's amazing, and I love it. So like previous Mad Max movies, the plot is really simple. Essentially, Max is helping this group of women escape from this evil warlord type of character named Immortan Joe. And essentially the movie is one long chase, where Max and the women are in this big tanker truck driving away from Immortan Joe and his giant gang of bad guys. That's essentially it. That's the gist of it. So all the acting in the movie is great, I would say. Yeah, the characters aren't the most developed characters, but they don't have to be. Tom Hardy as Max was awesome. Now, is he better than Mel Gibson? No, I still think Mel Gibson just has a quality to him that, I don't know, I like him better, but that's not saying like anything bad about Tom Hardy. He was still awesome in the part. I loved him in the movie. The person that actually steals the show is Charlize Theron as Furiosa, the main woman in the movie, and she's awesome. Like, she's almost the main character of the movie. She has a lot more like development to her. She talks a lot because, you know, Max is a really silent character. So she's almost the main character in the movie, and she's great in the part. She's awesome. She kicks ass. I love that the actor who plays Toe Cutter, the main bad guy in the first Mad Max, played as Immortan Joe in this. That was awesome, and I loved him as a villain. He's very memorable with his breathing apparatus on his face. It looks like the giant teeth. He's awesome in the movie. Who is also really great is Nicholas Hoult, who I think that's how you pronounce his name, who played Beast in X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past as the character Nux. He was awesome in the movie. The whole cast was just awesome, and memorable characters like the other Mad Max movies. So this movie was in development for a long time. Like, if this movie had been made when originally planned, it would have come out in 2003 and have starred Mel Gibson as Mad Max. That's how long they've been trying to make this movie. So it's so crazy that it all paid off. All those years of waiting actually paid off, and it was all worth it. And that's what surprised me and just made me really happy. Now, the question that's been on my mind for all these years is this movie a sequel or a reboot? And it's kind of both. You don't have to see any of the previous movies to see this one. So don't be all like, oh, I haven't seen Mad Max 1, 2, and 3, I can't see this one. No, you can go into this one completely fresh, and it'll still be awesome. There are some things in that kind of contradict the other movies. In the first movie, he had a baby son that died, and in this one, he had a kid daughter that died, so they changed that stuff, so it's kind of a reboot in a way. Either way, I'm not getting too hung up over it. It's a new Mad Max adventure from the original creator, George Miller, and it's awesome. So I don't care how it ties into the previous movies at all. I'm just happy with the movie we got. The action scenes in this movie are jaw-dropping. Like, the whole last scene of the movie, after the final action scene, I was still catching my breath. I was still like, okay, just calm down during that whole final scene because of what came before it. The beginning of this movie starts out crazy, which is so weird because it's like, if the beginning of the movie is this crazy, how is it going to top that in the end? And it does. It's so insane. This movie is basically one long chase, with occasional pit stops here and there for the characters to breathe and develop a little bit and stuff like that. But yeah, these action scenes, again, this is one of the best action movies I've seen in a long time, and maybe ever. This might be one of my favorite action movies I've ever seen. Oh my god, I mean, I was into it the whole time. There's never a dull moment where I'm like, I don't know, let's just wait here, okay. There's so many crazy moments in this movie. You got a flame-throwing guitar. You got a guy who goes blind and starts randomly shooting off machine guns all crazily. It's insane. You got a lot of weird moments in this movie too. One of the things that George Miller is great at doing is creating this world full of these unique, weird characters, and he does that so well in this movie. There's a lot of weirdness in this movie. This movie's really weird, but it works. The movie's not going to be for everyone. I know there's going to be some people that probably won't like it, although I thought it was great. The movie is visually stunning. I love the way all the shots look. I love the attention to detail in all the costumes and all the sets. I love the way George Miller directs action scenes. The way the camera is always moving, and it's the camera's not just far away showing the action, it's right in the action. It's like right there. And even though there's an insane amount of action going on, you get like cars colliding, people running on top of cars, fighting each other, it's all clear and understandable. You can tell like everything is fun. There's no Michael Bay shaky cam. There's no shaky cam at all. And you can understand like everything that they're doing and where people are in relation to each other, even through all this chaos. And that's just how great of a director George Miller is. He is awesome. He can go from making Happy Feet, because he did make Happy Feet, to one of the most insane action movies ever made. I'm pretty sure this movie was his follow-up to Happy Feet 2. Yeah. And he's 70 years old. Like, when I'm 70 years old, I want to be making movies like this. I hope I'll be making movies like this when I'm 70 years old. That's nuts. He is a great action director. I hope he does more action movies after this. And hopefully this propels him to do more action movies, because I'd love to see that. And I'd love to see more Mad Max movies, because this movie was so great. Oh my god. So, out of 10, I have to go 10. I have to give it a perfect score. Because when I think back, I'm trying to think of flaws of this movie, and I don't really have any. I have a few maybe nitpicky things. I thought some of Tom Hardy's dialogue sounded a bit weird, like it was louder than everybody else's dialogue. Like there's times he could like grunt, because he grunts a lot in this movie. He doesn't talk a lot. So a lot of times he's doing something like, and like that sounded louder than the other audio. But that's just like a little nitpicky problem. That's not really an issue with the movie. I didn't take anything away from the movie. So I don't have any real flaws with this movie, which is crazy. And just, I wasn't expecting this movie to be as awesome as it was. Everybody, like, if you like action movies, see this movie. I really hope this movie makes a lot of money, because I know it's not projected to make a whole lot, because it's an R-rated sequel to a cult franchise and stuff like that. But I hope it does good, because it deserves it. It definitely lives up to expectations. And I know it's only May, and I haven't seen that many movies, but it's my favorite movie of the year so far. I loved it. Now, is it better than The Road Warrior? I don't know. I like, the difference between those two movies is that Fury Road is big and wild and crazy, whereas Road Warrior is a bit more small. It's more smaller, it's more contained, and it's more grittier, and a bit more real. In a way, it's still exaggerated, but it's a bit more real, and I really like that style to it. So I don't know. It's really hard to say which one's better at this time, since I just saw the movie yesterday. So I still have to think about that, but those two movies, though, stand next to each other as just action masterpieces that'll live on forever, in my personal opinion. Oh, man. So, yeah, that's about all I can say about that movie. Just see it. See it. It's amazing. And that's about it for now. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later.